Wow, peace. Intro. My boy guy, welcome. Rahul Bad. Check this out.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Sure, Rocksteady. Can you feel it? Sure, Rocksteady. Can you feel it? Sure, Rocksteady. Can you feel it?
Another one. And check out this intro. It's probably a little low, right? So welcome, my boyka, Manikato, mi peace, Rahul Bad. All my sisters and brothers, Zamutat and Zamal, also my Ituno, Tiaono, mi hermana y mi hermanos. Man, welcome. Well, I was supposed to get on yesterday, but I just got busy on the keyboard, dealing with some tones and stuff. So I said, let me just go on now. I got a little break to go on now. Did all my chores I needed to do today. So I wanted to go on live. For those of you who's checking this podcast out, man, everybody's welcome to call in. If you have me on Facebook, I do have my setup where you can call in. Or if you would like to join me in a discussion face to face, then just I guess we could do it through email. Okay. So first thing, I just wanted to I know the impeachment was going on. I didn't quite watch it, but I'll probably pick it up later and see where they're at with that. That's all political doctrine and dogma. We'll get into that later. Now, these particular podcasts that I wanted to do is not on Wednesday. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I interview musicians and artists. I don't know if I'm going to have one present. I'm trying to work out. There's two young ladies that I want to bring on, but let's see which one. One already declined. I wish she didn't decline. She just said she can't do it. So I'm trying to get at another time, and that's going to be powerful. And then the other sister, I got to check my WhatsApp app. Man, I got my hat. I want to check out to see if she contacted me because I definitely wanted to bring her on for the Afro Caribbean, and she's an artist too. So I wanted to bring in some artists, visual artwork. I think that's important. That goes hand in hand with music. Well, I wanted to first of all, I wanted to so make this podcast about like I said before. I want to go into the Natural Energy Center, and I wanted to start the one on the bottom. Now I know there's sub energies. I'm just touching upon these natural centers, which is correlates. It correlates with the Kemetic science. You know what I'm saying? And then also we'll bring in the Indian concepts also, which is chakra. I'm not too invested in that. I deal with natural nature and observing, analyzing these particular power that we have, that we need to harness. Is very, very important. And when you look at master teachers and you look at certain individuals that were enlightened beings on this planet, you see that they all had this ability. And so the first one, I kind of like named it Semi. Let me add this on here. Semi. If you look at this is an ancient Taino artifact. It's called Semi. And let me see. Let me bring up some stuff over here. You're still there, right? Yeah. Let me bring up some stuff over here because there were certain information that I wanted to touch upon about the Semi. So the Semi deals with ancestry patterns. It deals with the Earth Energy Center. You see the three different points The top point, it points to the supreme being, what they call yeah, which is the supreme being. It also resembles a mountain. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about the island of Borinquen and a lot of these Caribbean islands, they're very mountainous. You know, a lot of mountains. And so a lot of these have very significance. I wish I could bring it up here, the significance of it. I do have it. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. Trying to bring it up. Let me see. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. Maybe I should share that also. But anyway, this is a semi. Let me remove that. And deals with the Earth Energy Center. Okay, now this is my spin on it. Okay, because I analyze it, you know, did the reasoning behind it, you know, and incorporated a lot of different um a lot of different sorry, I'm doing something here. Stop screen. Okay, I did a lot of you know, different yeah, I took different schools of thoughts and kind of like kept it all on the same vein. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, excuse me 1 second. I'm navigating through this thing here, but I'm not doing very well with it. You know what I'm saying? So just give me 1 second. Let me remove that. I'm trying to find. Let me see. Semi Taino culture. This is the one I want here. So let's share that. Stop the screen from sharing. I'm just navigating through this. I don't have a tech person with me right now. My grandson is supposed to be my tech person, but he's busy out there watching his show and stuff. He's not a good tech person. I need another tech person, technical person who's able to symbols, culture. Let me see. Is it this one? Man, I need to. It's not that one either. I'm sorry. I should have. I'm trying to. No, that's not the one either. Let's remove that out. But as you can see, that's the symbol. Trying to. Ooh. Where is it? Here. Taino culture. This is the one that I want. The semi in Taino culture. This is the one that I want right here. So let's do that. You know, just bear with me 1 second while I find the one that I need. Semi and Taino culture. This is going to be the one right here. Oh no, it's not. What's going on? It's this one here. You gotta excuse me on this, man. I'm trying to find it. I know it's this. No, it's not that one there. No, it's not that one there. It's this one here. And semi and Taino culture. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll eliminate these. Go back here. Let's go share screen. Now it should come up now. It should come up now. Yep, this is it right here. Yep, that's the one. Let's share that. Here we go. This is what I wanted to share with you real quickly. Okay. And if you can read, I can't read it right now. I don't know. But yeah, I can read it. So a semi, different spelling of it, is a collective term for in the Caribbean Taino. Arawak, which is a misnomer, but it's the Taino culture, and it means it's a sacred thing, a spiritual symbol, personified effigy. Now, the Taino were people that Christopher Columbus met when he first set foot on the island. And so, what does I wanted to, there were a breakdown, and I can't find that breakdown. I got to be a little more savvy in doing this. I can't find the breakdown. But anyway, let me just read you from here. I apologize for that. I need to get all of that in order because I want to start sharing some data and sharing some screens and stuff like that. So the semi I kind of like viewed it as being the seed, the ancestral pattern, because household in the Taino culture had a semi that represented their family lineage. You know what I'm saying? And all represent Taino, the village, its lineage. So the ancestral pattern, the genetic blueprint was all incorporated into this, and it deals with grounding and seeding. Okay, now this is Earth magnetic energy. It deals a lot also with inheritance. We'll speak about that, the origins of things, the elements, the fertilization, and the vegetation. So this Earth energy, when you align with the Earth energy field, you're receiving the energy force from the Earth field. Okay. Now we spoke about how this magnetic field, it's also being absorbed, and the absorption, the spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum from the sun, right, coming onto the earth, bombarding the earth with this spectrum, and it is creating this magnetic field, earth magnetic field. That's the reason why when you plant a seed and you're able to nurture it, and is able to grow, and it's gonna reach out for more of this spectrum. Let me see if I could bring up. Man, I had so much of this stuff. I gotta be a little more organized on this. I think I need to do a PowerPoint. Next time I'll do the PowerPoint, because I think that'll be much more for me, easier to navigate. So let's see. Let me see. So just bear with me 1 second. Yep, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's go back. Energy flow. Nope, 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 nope. I had it around here. Screenshot. Nope. Interesting. Interesting. I had a lot of this stuff. Here it goes. Magnetic spectrum. All right. This is the electromagnetic spectrum. Let me see if I can share this. Okay. Let me see if I can share this. So let me go out of here. Stop that screen. See if I can share screen. Electromagnetic spectrums. Here it is. Share it. And here you go. As you can see here, let me see what you can see here. Yeah. Oh no, why isn't that? Why is it not sharing that particular screen? I want this to be shared. Let's see if I go back here. Oh man, this is getting a little difficult. I should have had all of this already. Let's see if I share this. What I'm doing, if I'm sharing my screen here, I'm sharing your entire screen. No, a window application. Let's go here. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. If you read on here, if you read it, let me see. No, that's not the one. Yeah. If you read on, it says light carries information in ways you may not realize, like cell phone uses light to send or receive calls and messages. Wireless routers, wireless routers use light to send pictures of cats from internet to your computer. Car radio uses light to receive music from nearby radio station. Even in nature, light carries many kinds of information. This is the point I'm getting to. This information coming from the spectrum. And here we go. Telescopes are light collectors. Everything we know from Hubble is because of light. Since we are not able to travel to stars and take samples from faraway galaxy, where we depend on electromagnetic radiation light to carry information to us from distant objects in space. Now, the Hubble Space Telescope can view objects in more than just visible light. including ultraviolet, visible, infrared light. These observation enables astronomers to determine certain physical characteristics of object, such as temperature and composition. So if you look at this, sorry, yeah, here we are. So what is, let me see. So it says here, what is electromagnetic light? Let me do this. Kill that. Kill that. Kill that. There you go. This is the spectrum, okay? You got radio waves, right? You got infrared, you got visible ultraviolet, and you got X-ray and gamma rays, which is shorter rays. So, these are electromagnetic spectrum. This is what bombards the earth. And this is what is absorbed in the seed that we plant. And if you say, well, what does this have to do with music? Well, when you seed an idea in music, a tone, you have a tone, you seed, you have this idea, you're going to grab tones. And tones are sound like phonons that also is coming from the sun, information from the sun. The sun is what they call the Father in spiritual sense, in biblical sense. I can read you, I can even pull it up, certain passages from biblical passages, which would allude you to analyze and to think about it and say, wow, the sun plays a very important, is the most important information giver, nourisher, and nature that affect us on this planet, humanity. You know what I'm saying? And that's, it's not, people may say, oh, that's sun worship. It's not sun worshiping. It's having reverence, and it's analyzing reverence and being truthful that this sun that we experience every day when we wake up, this light, and even in darkness too, there still is information in that darkness because it's being absorbing all of this electromagnetic spectrum. Now, let's read on. The electromagnetic spectrum describes all of the kinds of lights, including those that the human eye cannot see. In fact, most of the light in the universe is invisible to our eyes, most of those lights. Now with the science, now the technology, they are beginning to use certain devices that are able to harness, capture some of these lights. You know what I'm saying? Like the black light. Like when it's forensic, use it when they go in a room, a crime has been committed, they go in a room and it passes light, these ultraviolet black light, and they get to see things that are not visible to the naked eye. So the light we can see made up of individual colors of the rainbows and much more. The colors of the rainbow only represents a very small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why I always say that, it's good to know these colors, what they call Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, and which the chocolate system uses those. But we're going beyond that. We're going beyond the spectrums of other light, information, wavelength that are not discussed, except for, like I was speaking earlier about the teachings, the Wapian teachings. Well, we had books that were based on the black light, like the Gold Book. There's certain books that mention about the black light, and we were very cognizant of those spectrums, and we were being educated on that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give a big ups to Dr. Malachi Z. York for bringing that to the forefront. So these individual colors of the rainbow, that's just a small portion of electromagnetic. There are other types of light, including radio waves, microwaves, infrared radiation, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. And then you say, what does this have to do with music? Because music also have a spectrum. Right now, they're used from do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, those, but there are also other tones that go beyond what we know. Beyond those sounds. As a matter of fact, I mentioned one time that Jimi Hendrix was creating an instrument that was able to grab tones and frequencies that were not conventionally European tones, or that he could not play with the guitar. There were other tones that he was working with, and I believe two Chinese young lady had acquired that the patent for that instrumentation. So there are frequencies, and this is studies that's being done now. You know what I'm saying? There are frequencies that are not heard by the human ear. You know what I'm saying? There are frequencies, like dogs can hear certain frequencies that we can't hear, and certain animals see other different frequencies. So there are frequencies out there. And if you know how to harness that, and you're cognizant of that and harness that, um, it'll make it very interesting for your creation. All of which, now, all of these gamma rays, X-ray, ultraviolet ray, infrared radiation, all of that, are which are imperceptible to the human eye. You see, all light and electromagnetic or electromagnetic radiation travel through space at 186,000 miles per second. They say, that's 300,000 kilometers. Now, the speed of light, that's about as far as a car will go over its lifetime. Travel by light in a single second. So now, if you read on this article, this is the Hubble site. It tells you how light travels, how we measure it and that, but there are other measurements. So now look at this. Sorry. Here we go. Expand. Let's expand this then. Look at this. Okay? Let me see what you're seeing. Yeah. If you look at this, right, you see the radio waves, buildings, you see microwaves, humans. You see the amount of waves, how it is, longer waves and the shorter waves. So you see it. Bacteria are in that visible wavelength. Then you got the infrared, the pinpoint, ultraviolet molecules, atoms, X-ray, and gamma rays. You know what I'm saying? And in music, it's the same thing. In the music, it's the same thing. It has the same. Remember, light and sound are just two different perspectives of the same source, which is the ultraviolet light. Comparison, different type of light, including wavelength size and frequency. So, you know what I'm saying? This is all can be researched. And when you research this stuff, you have to analyze it, and you have to do deductive reasoning and paradoxical reasoning. You got to use your mind, your mental, and see how, because there are people that are invested in manipulating this information. You know what I'm saying? And so they are creating devices, they are manipulating the humanity, what I'm saying, different communities and different people by certain frequencies that are being harnessed, So that's very important in music, what I'm saying, very important in music. So, I hope this ain't too out there for a lot of people, what I'm saying, but it's information that you can view it. It's information that is available, So getting back to the point of semi, and we'll go on later when we deal with Jukahu, the Juka, and we're looking at seeds, a seeding, if you have an idea, or seeding inherited. You're grabbing you're using natural nature, which is the use of those spectrums, those radiation, those spectrums. And so you are nourishing it. You're giving dominion, what they say, dominion, you're giving that dominion over things where you're able to utilize these spectrums in order to create favorable, beneficial, that should be, the outcome to create favorable, beneficial environments and conditions for everybody. Not everybody follow those rules, the standard of law. Not everybody follows that. You know what I'm saying? But in totality, when you seeding something, understand that that's you're connecting yourself to an earth magnetic field, which is part of the absorption that come from this electromagnetic spectrum that's coming from the sun. If that sun decide, let's say the sun decide to just poof, end it all life we know it ends as we know it ends in this planet, on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know, and what happened is that this is natural nature. This is a sense of sensing natural nature, and through time, like I said, there has been groups that have used a hidden certain information. They hid the information. They converted it. They interpreted it their way. They hid it, the information, so as to control people. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the evolution of that knowledge, it's what gave birth to religion, doctrine, and dogma. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it here. I wish I could bring it up. I hope people later on get to find this what I'm sharing here. Right now, I don't see nobody coming on right now, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No problema. But anyway, that's the whole concept behind seeding, seeding. And when we connect, with earth, and knowing that by connecting to that, also being cognizant of the most high frequency, the most high. It's that most high frequency, that on this planet, we look at the sun, but the sun is also collecting electromagnetic forces from the other galaxies. The sun are stars. Suns are stars. The stars are sun, and they're collecting information, electromagnetic forces. They're collecting that and enlightening themselves. That's how some stars enlighten. They grow from within and they glow. You know what I'm saying? So your consciousness also the same thing. It's a ball of light. When you start collecting this information, then you start enlightening yourself. And part of the enlightenment self, again, is seed, genesis, the ability to plant seed and to nourish that seed. Of course, you have to grab that seed from other, like if you got a fruit and you got a seed, and you can have a bad fruit and still take those seeds, grow, and it'll grow good fruit. So the seed is the origin, which bring me to another point. We are seeds, we're particles, bacterium, virus, from electromagnetic forces. The sun created these conditions for us as being particles, parasites, viruses, fungi, for us to thrive and grow. And then we develop the mind, right? A consciousness, a mind that has to be connected to the source. So when we get up to that point, we'll get it to that point, but also connected to the earth. Plant your feet, ground yourself to the earth, and then you acknowledge the constellations, the Most High. You acknowledge the Most High. And if you hear it, it has a little tone, because what religion did was, again, to disguise the truth, disguise it, morph it into a religion, again, binding you to a doctrine and dogma, and we'll speak about that. Now, when we talk about seeding in the Earth Energy Center, the light of it is the part where you ground yourself with your genetic blueprint, your ancestral pattern, you ground yourself, right? And it casts a shadow of separatism and what they call racism sometimes, because you know your origin, or you know your the light that it casts. It says, oh, so this is my origin, this is my origin in terms of your tribe culture, right? This is my tribe. This is where I belong. This is my genetics, right? And if we're not careful with the shadow self, it casts that ignorance or that separatism. There are groups out here that manipulate that separatism because they want to sell their doctrine and dogma. You know, they want to sell that doctrine. You know, that shadow self. That's the shadow self. It can be used. It has to be balanced with the light self. And then the enlightenment self is the fact that it is genesis, origin, fertilization, right? Inheritance, fertilization, right? When you look at the enlightenment self, you know, you have the ability to originate. You're part of this origination. So you have the ability to originate, to keep that flowing, the origination of things. And say that's what it deals with, earth magnetic force, and dealing with the enlightenment self. And when you look at a lot of master teachers, and a lot of groups, yeah, you know, they know their genetics, they follow their genetics, DNA, and so and so. And then a lot of them can manipulate the shadow self, you know what I'm saying, with you create a doctrine with the shadow self, and they can amplify that separatism, racism, their race. And not, you know, I spoke about this before, that there's good racism and there's bad racism. You know, a racist, like a pianist, is a person that plays piano, right? He becomes a pianist. A percussionist, the person's into percussion. Well, racist is a person's into race. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times with the doctrine, a lot of that shadow self, that separatism, is they lean too much to that. They sort of like took the human race and separated it. Get it? Separatism. They took the human race and separated it, so as to create classism and a lot of stuff. But you know, I'm not here to really speak about that. We all know about that. Like I said, when you stop another race from thriving and for developing their community in themselves, that's bad racism. You know, you down another person because of their phenotype or where they come from, you know, the country, whatever, and you down their, you know, their growth. That's wrong racism. But a good racism, it's like when you allow, you know, and you harness, you build your community. You're proud of who you are. You got to be proud of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Of your genetics and DNA. But then don't use that to bombard or down another race. That's when you're crossing the lines. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what it's all about. You know. But that's the shadow self. And there's a lot of people out here that uses that willingly or unwillingly. And they, you know, they don't know. They don't know. And I'm not here to say this kumbaya, humanity and everybody is one, the human race. Yeah, we are a human race, but we have a little differences because of the different environment. That's a natural thing. The different environment allows certain conditions for us to grow a certain way. Skin change, melanin. You know, you need more melanin to live in the area of the equator. You know, say a certain degrees, a certain latitudes, right? And then you know, the other environments, you don't need that much melanin. Everyone has melanin. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the coding for the fetus. everyone has melanin. It's a different type of melanin. You know what I'm saying? It's just that some have more than others because of the conditions of their territory, the conditions of their origination, of where they were seeded at. This whole planet is seeded in different sections. So you get a lot of different variation of humanoids. This happens even in a different planet. You know what I'm saying? Then depending on the environment. So it's not to say, oh, I don't like you because you come from this part, whatever. No, it's not about that at all. You know what I'm saying? It's about understanding, having, well, again, moral and ethics, having tolerance for different people differences, accepting people differences. At the same time, you set your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? As long as that person don't cross that boundary, like I said, they don't practice this wrong racism, then it's cool. You know what I'm saying? We can work together. You know what I'm saying? We all living on this planet. The sun doesn't, you can't cover the sun with one finger. You know what I'm saying? You can't cover that sun. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna shine on everybody. Even though you say that, oh, there's certain people, race of people that they cannot take the sun because they create cancer. No, everyone can sustain the sun. It's that some need it more than others. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure if you take a very melanated person, put them in the sun, they're gonna also get sick because they got too much melanin in them. Or it's either too much or too less. You know what I'm saying? It just works both ways. So that's the shadow self. That's been cast. A shadow is cast from the light on the object, casts that shadow. So the balancement of that will give you the information you need, the energy to balance and create and light up and become an enlightened being, your enlightened self. And when you are enlightened and you become enlightened, and you get to see, wow, the power we have to connect with the earth and to seed, and that's when they speak about the minions given to man. Take care of the seeds. If it's seeds of your children are seeds also, take care of your seed, nourish it. You know what I'm saying? Create favorable conditions in the environment for the seed to grow. And that deals also with inheritance too. You know what I'm saying? Create a favorable a financial situation, because we're going to get into that and go into the root, and deals with finance, deals with currency, and deals with sustainability and with food, shelter. Create so it could take root. So your seed, your idea, your seed can take root. So the origin of it is at this natural nature center, which is the earth energy center, which I named Semi. Okay? And once we learn how we are enlightened of how our seeds, how we have the power that was given, we have the power, the innate power to nourish seeds, separated from weeds that may want to choke it. That's when it talks about in Matthew. I should have brought up, next time what I'll do is I'll bring up, I don't have it right now, my blue letter Bible. Excuse me 1 second. Let's see something. Sorry. Oh, I dropped my mouse over here. Give me 1 second. So, why is it so important? And I'm gonna bring it back to music, but why is this so important in terms of in our lives? Why is it important to be aware of our ability? Is because it helps heal those ancestral patterns and genetic blueprints. It helps heal it. It's healing, because you know that your seed, your origin comes from a different section, right? That was brought over. It's like slavery. Let's look at slavery, right? How it all that of how our ancestors came and the horrific and the stuff that they had to go through and whatever. A lot of this information, genetic information, is passed on to us. However, we have the power to heal that by harnessing this enlightenment self, this enlightening power that we have, natural nature enlightenment power that we have, which is called seeding, grounding, and anchoring ourselves. Because when we're aware of that, then we know, like, wow, this is my seed. Let me get the right soil for it. Let me get the right condition. Let me put the right water for it. And that's what, when they talk about the age of Aquarius, the water barrier, this is the time now, because of the great conjunction and the enlightenment. People are becoming enlightened and they're becoming aware of the powers that they have. You got a lot of African American millionaires every day being made because they have that power to have an idea, seed, and nourish it with the proper, in terms of finance, stocks and bonds and cryptocurrency and all of the, when it comes to that whole monetary business. There is a time now to seed so as to create an inheritance for your future generation. You know what I'm saying? And we have 9 years to make that shift and to really pay attention to what's happening with that whole digital currency and that whole enlightenment of the seeding. Plant your seed now and start make sure that it takes on the proper roots that we'll speak on later on about the roots, the renewal, what they call the root energy center, and is the renewal, enlightenment self, the power we have to renew ourselves. So first we have the anchoring ourselves, the seeding, and then you would take roots. We renew it, so it can take this proper roots. It can grow as proper roots. So keeping in the roots, man, it's nobody here. Nobody wants to come on, but that's fine. I want to have this conversation with me. I hope I ain't going so into the deep end. But anyway, maybe in the future, at the right time, able to bring in people. It's probably dinner time right now, 6:14. People, it's Tuesday. Probably looking, watching the news, impeachment, and things like that. But yeah, just wanted to come on here, give you a little, share with you a little information, a little, what we call a little research that I'm doing. I'm creating a product. All of this is to create a product. I'll let you know later on when I'm already almost done creating that product. I don't want to reveal it just now, but yeah, there's a product being created. Let me put on my light. And hopefully with this, this light is powerful. Put it back here. The product is, one of my ideas. And again, the seeding the ideas and make sure that I have the right environment and suitable, like soil, which is in this term of this product will be the information and the right information, and that it's in accord with that different uh, um, ideologies can use it and can see it where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So the power of what they call genesis, the power of seeding, of grounding, it's all right. It's all right. When you look at the seed, and then it doesn't matter if the seed comes from a bad apple, a bad fruit. That seed has the ability to create more, to grow, to carry on its genetic imprints. You know what I'm saying? And it's about healing time. You know, just heal ourselves. You see what else? I could bring up here since I got a little time. I've only been here 45 minutes and 17 seconds. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I think Facebook is tripping. People don't get their notification or whatever, but that's okay. Real quick, I do want to mention that um, for those of you who are thinking of taking a trip one day, I want you to check this out. It's in Amarelo, Airbnb Managua in Puerto Rico. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We want to get away. Let me bring up, hold on one second. Let me bring up pictures. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get out there and, keep dropping my mouse. Want to get out there and take in that beautiful beach, the water, that's the Caribbean, beautiful. And also the inside of that is a container, and it's beautiful. It's been renovated, and this container, and it's just beautiful. This is the outside. Yeah, sit there. You got a little surfing. You want to do some surfing right here in this area. Right here is a little convenience store. Very nice, because at times that the people in the neighborhood will bring out their panaleta plena, you know. And my family has a history, a genetic history going way back into this area, Maunabo, Arroyo, and especially Maunabo, Guayama, that area, which is the southern part of the island. So you want to get out there, you know what I'm saying? And spend some time. It's nice for if you're a couple, have one child, or you're a couple, you want to get out there, and they got canoes out there. You want to go fishing, boating, whatever you want to do, you can go out there. You know what I'm saying? And listen, when you get a chance, like the video, share the video. And for those who can, if you want to, that's just my cash app right there. So, so again, share it and like it. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like, well, only one person's on right now. But anyway, it seems like, like it's kind of very light. There's a lot of light in here. Jeez. I don't think I really need that light. But anyway, um, for those of you maybe who'll be watching this later on, you know what I'm saying, just observe it, analyze. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, this is the first podcast I'm doing in the series. I've done it before, but this is the first time I'm doing this. And that is to go into these natural nature centers. And how it deals with music. So you're seeding an idea. And remember, you got the electromagnetic spectrum, and you have all these tones, these frequencies, right? And dealing with all these tones. That's what I've been doing that last night, just checking out these tones and the chords, and constructing chords, and learning about what certain tones affect us, you know, what certain tones affect us, in terms of, our habit, the way we, when we listen to, what kind of effect that it has in our bodies and our minds. You know what I'm saying? So I've been diving into these tones and stuff. So in music, when you have an idea, you want to see the idea, right? It's so important to know that you have to have proper tones, what they call key signature, the idea, right? So you get all this information, and you create that environment for your idea to 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 morph itself, right? You also need the proper environment. So you get to studio, you got a home studio, whatever you have, right? With proper musicians who can able to understand where you're coming from, your vision, and then they get together and you work out, you know, staying true to the idea, the seed, and it grow roots, and you see it flourishing, flourishing, flourishing. I know there's a lot of musicians that do this naturally. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And there are those that are cognizant of what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're not just doing it because out of the fly. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes, you know, so when you talk about the enlightenment self and that idea and you're cognizant of that, then you can create, you know, you get to understand about these frequencies and these tones, and you start more or less creating your music to fit. You know what I'm saying? The music industry has become very, um, well, say, polluted in some sense. It's polluted in the sense that there is no the creativity. Um, you know, people just think you grab melody, then you get your harmony, and then you put your rhythm to it, and you got music. No, music goes much more than that. You know, music is an art, and it deals with tones and frequencies. And when we're aware of that, it creates a different type of musicianship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm a great musician and that this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm learning. When you look at greats, you know, for instance, Stevie Wonder. When you look at Stevie Wonder work, and I've viewed some of his interviews and some of the you know recently the interview, especially with the him sitting at the Dream Machine, which is only I think I don't know maybe more people own it, but only at the time that he did the Songs of the Key of Life with the Dream Machine was only two people in the world had that machine, that keyboard. It's called the Dream Machine. Stevie Wonder was one of them. I think Yamaha makes them, and some Chinese, the Chinese are always ahead because it's Yamaha or the Japanese girls. They had, and so there's ideas were able to use. He was able to use certain frequency and certain sound in order to create Songs of the Key of Life. Just check out the interview. Listen to what he's saying. Observe that. You know what I'm saying? He was able, using technology from Yamaha, using the technology, groundbreaking technology, using that and able to seed his idea and able to give it an environment, a tonality and frequency that created such a piece of art, work of masterpiece. Songs of Key of Life is a masterpiece. But you have to really pay attention to how it was developed, of how it took roots, you know. And Stevie had spoken about it in certain interviews. I wish I could have played it here. I need to do that, you know what I'm saying? And you see in these interviews how he was able to do that. And that's the next phase, man. That's the next phase. Is and I don't even mean to down any, you know, present day composers and people that make music now, but it's something to think about. The future is something to think about. It's growth and understanding that there are, again, we have the power, first of all, to have the proper seed, that idea, and then the environment. You know, I know other musicians that do that. Now they have an idea and they know that in order for them to see this idea through, they need to get certain amps to give them certain tones and frequencies in order to get that going. And this is engineer talk too. A lot of engineers do that. And remember, like I told you that, you know, that was my interest when I was going to NYU. I wanted to become an acoustical engineer and spent a lot of time, you know, I was in the music technology program and spent time in studios and speaking. When I visited Bruce Sweden, who did the Michael Jackson, you know, the Michael Jackson album, Off the Wall, and Michael Jackson, you know that Bruce Sweden was working with sonic frequency that he brought over to Quincy Jones. Engineer Bruce Sweden, sonic frequency. And he spoke about that in one of his interviews. So this is not new. This is just, I guess, I'm becoming more aware of what makes a difference in masterpieces of music. You know what I'm saying? And how it you could stretch out those frequencies. You know what I'm saying? And how it and you know it's part of it's we're being bombarded by frequencies now anyway from nature, you know, from the sun, from nature, you know what I'm saying? And then in the music industry, you know, they mimic that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's been a little polluted because I remember growing up, um, we used to dance to James Brown, Brass Construction, Kool and the Gang. All of a sudden, I go to a party and they start playing Trans Europe Express. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do that.
Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express.
So that's crazy, right? The technology is crazy. So when this came on in the party, we just didn't know. We didn't know what to do. What the damn? What is that? We're so busy. Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are? We were just all of a sudden just you know, and we're like, oh, and that's when the robot came out. You know what I'm saying? So of course we adapt to that. And now look at music now. And with the whole disco, electronic music. And I like electronic music. There's some electronic music that are very, very creative. You know what I'm saying? I don't discredit any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's muses. You know, it's music, muses. It's setting music is pleasurable. It's setting, you know, it muses pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of that, you know, you hear it, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, you know, and also been polluted a lot of companies, a lot of artists. Now I noticed when I start um, analyzing and dealing with the shadow self and the light self and the enlightenment self, the shadow self, it's, you know, you see how in the music business, there are companies, if you didn't speak about some shame or guilt or separatism or what they call, you know, all the stuff from the shadow self, the guilt and all that, you know, the you know the love, the the wanting, the lust, and all that. That's the shadow self, and they amplify that. If you didn't see that coming, if they didn't hear that in your lyrics, and they didn't, you know, your chance of getting a record deal wasn't that. No. But as soon as you start speaking about certain things, oh yeah, we got to sign him up. You know what I'm saying? I remember that the I worked with a producer called Patrick Adams. Everybody remember Push Push in the Bush, Push Push in the Bush. Patrick Adams is the creator of that. A great producer, you know, Grammy Award, a great producer. And I was working with Patrick Adams one time in the studio, and I brought him some lyrics he created. Hold on one second. I'm sorry about that. Always got to be disrupted, and I don't know why. But you can't wait. People just can't wait. But anyway, hold on one second. So anyway, what I was saying, well, Patrick Adams. So I brought him some lyrics with this group that I was working with, I was writing with, for 3+1. And so the minute he heard it, he wanted to record it because it was different, and it was I remember the lyrics. I wrote it, and it went like, God bless you. You make me feel brand new. You are everything, and everything is you. I see you standing, you alone in your baby blue panties. Okay? What I did before Jamie Foxx did it, I took titles from the doo-wop, stylistics. God bless you, you make me feel brand new, and you are everything, and everything is you. And Barry White, I see you standing in your baby blue panties. So I took bits and pieces and put it together. It was like a slow jam song. Man, when the minute he heard the first line, God bless you, you make me feel brand new. You are everything, and everything is you. When he heard that, it was in. But you see, Patrick Adams was a different type of producer. The song could have been great. You know what I'm saying? The beat was awesome beat and whatever. But I just think that at that time also, Patrick Adams was just, he had, look at that push in the bush. You know what that means, right? So it deals. I also had lyrics sexual. I wanted to do a rated X version of that particular record. You know what I'm saying? With the Jungle Fever backtrack. Da 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 da. I wanted to add that in there, but they weren't going. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood, that you gotta, like Prince did. I understand. People are looking for this because that's the shadow self amplifying. Like I said, the music industry became polluted with people that were invested in manipulating or in amplifying the shadow self. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just for my music people, you know what I'm saying, out there, that when you're creating music, you have to take a lot of things into consideration. You don't have to always fit the mold of what everybody wants you to feel. You got to think out the box. You know what I'm saying? But in thinking out the box, no matter what, it's about tones and frequencies, right? And it's about the spectrum. So when like I was dealing with the Earth Energy Center and the tone, I believe it's A, the tone of A and the frequency. I don't remember, I got it written down somewhere. But I was creating my chords in the key of A, and those chords were very earthy tones. So pretty soon I'll unearth my composition that deals with those tones. So now that I got those earth tones and I got those chords, man, now my lyrics is gonna probably deal with the balancement of the shadow self and the light self and the enlightenment self. A birthing the sea of Genesis. I have wrote some lyrics here. First lyrics that I wrote here. Oh, here it is. I'll read it to you. Plant a seed. The creator is the creation is the creator. The originator, the progenitor, the creator that helps feed. The root that brings Seneca Cacona, anchoring and grounding, ascending our persona. Renewed to rebirth, reform ourselves on earth. The mental dead has lost their worth. Now, that's just a little bits and pieces of what that's written work. But again, once you got an idea, you got those tones, and then you take whatever pieces of lyrics you need that when you feel the melody and you feel it and you see how the lyrics can fit. That's how I compose. I write a bunch of lyrics and then I grab lyrics that I feel will go. And then again, it's dealing with seeding. So, I'm dealing with those earth tones, those chords, and then I can grab, planting a seed, you know what I'm saying? And on and on. You know what I'm saying? It's just again, creation, creating. Let me see something. I don't get. Let me look at my Facebook to see who's on here. I don't see the comments or something. See something. Let me see something here. I don't know. I'm trying to. I got some time here. Let me see. Let me bring some people in. Let me look at my Facebook. I'm able to take calls now. Anybody has Messenger and wants to call in and have a discussion with me, hey, you're more than welcome. I've been already here about an hour, 5 minutes, but I could stay on. What I'm saying? Let people come in. We can have a conversation. Don't have to be a huge conversation or a lot of conversation. So, let's see. I'm in my Facebook. Well, I won't do it. I just got the notice now that I won't probably do some other type of interview tomorrow. If not, just do a podcast. I want to keep that Wednesday 7 o'clock going. But Thursday, I might even go on Thursday. So I mean, you might get a three days in a row with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But if anybody on my Facebook, got messengers, you can call in now, man. Call in now. Let's have a conversation, whatever you want to talk about. I got to bring this mic in closer, right? Can you hear me good? Let me see. Okay. Let me see. I'm looking at my Facebook. I'm trying to on live here. I am live, but let me see where is that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm on live. Oh yeah. Let me see. My cousin Richie. Now, man. Call it now. Let's have a conversation, whatever you want to talk. All right, I have to lower that. Yeah, it's leaking because, like I tell you, I got my phone hooked up to my mixer here, and yeah, my cousin is watching. And shout out to Richie, little Richie. Yeah, 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 man. Because of my cousin, little Richie, got my nephew, Jose Paulo, into reggaeton. If you go check out that interview with my yeah. He said, "What's up, cuz? Good, good. Yeah, good, good." But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, he's probably the only one on here right now, but that's okay. Because, like I said, usually when I go on, people don't go on with me, but they'll show up later on and view it later. I don't know. Do I scare people? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything, and do I scare people? What's going on? I'm anybody can sit with me and have a conversation with me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm- I don't judge anybody. That's just not me. I look at all humanity. I look at everybody as being intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something about themselves. That's the reason why I'm doing these broadcasts when it comes to energy center, because we all have this power. So the first step in the power is the seeding. This is our right. This is when they talk about, in the biblical sense, the dominions over the fishes and this and the dominion, the dominance over thing. Well, this is the ability, right, to bring in the environment so the seed can take roots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Does that make sense? I think maybe I could have said that in a different way. But anyway, the point is seeding ideas. You got an idea? Okay, now how can I, a lot of times we got so many ideas, and it don't mount to nothing. It don't mount to nothing. Because first of all, you have to look at those ideas and you have to ground those ideas. A good way is to again buy some seeds and plant plants. Seed. Hey, listen, and then understand that in order for this seed to grow it has to have a good environment. I gotta give it the right ingredients in the end. I gotta water it just right, in order for it to grow. My cousin Richie says, "Oh, the cocotazo that my sister gave him behind that." But now she probably happy, she know at the times, you know what I'm saying. That's why it's very important for us to have patience. Again, having tolerance for people differences when they come into your household and they're around, but also setting boundaries, but knowing how to do that tactfully. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that my sister didn't do that, But I mean, that's, in the sense of good times. Yeah, man. I want to play with my sound effects over here. Uh, hey, listen, don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. Say hi to my little friend. You mess with me, you're gonna get slapped. Man. Oh boy, you know, I'm having an awkward moment. Awkward. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Having fun over here. Having fun. Richie, I love you, brother. You still eat chicken wings and french fries? Every time I used to come visit him when he was like about 1 or 2 years old, and I always seen him eating chicken wings and french fries. I was like, eating chicken wings and french fries again? That was, oh man, I miss his moms too, man. Rest in peace, Diana, a good friend, funny, good. We had great times, man, great fun, funny. But anyway, getting back to our conversation about the seeding, and the grounding and the anchoring. When you ground yourself and you anchor yourself by doing your DNA, because I tell you, I told everybody I did my DNA. I did my DNA, and man, I wish I could have shared it here. I need to do some more. I need to do some more organization when it comes to my streaming, my sharing, presentation. I like to do PowerPoints. So I'm gonna have to probably do a PowerPoint and organize that and just go down the line. You know, what I'm saying? Because um important. So I mean, and those of you all, this is my email. If you want to comment now, email me. And I want everybody to subscribe, share, like the YouTube, man. My YouTube is it's not looking too good now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to monetize it so that when they replay it again, I noticed that when they replay certain videos on YouTube, they have commercials. Mine's don't. Maybe I need to commercialize it. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to pick up some views on there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I think my niece is supposed to help me with that. But I try to share it. I try very much to share it. I had some very, what do you think, man? I had some very nice interviews, man. I mean, the last interview I had with Melina Almodovar, the last interview I had with her, there's so much more we could have covered. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I was a little bit taken back, a little nervous, I don't know why, but I don't converse like this with a lot of women, only on a personal sense, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Women to me are very extraordinary creatures. I won't say creatures, they're very extraordinary humans, humanoids. Like I said, women are the first musicians on this planet, the first one that started to resonate, use their voice, taught it to their seeds. Make sure that your women are very enlightened beings, man, because they understand. This is actually sacred feminine talk we're talking now. When you deal with enlightenment self, the seeding, women are so invested in that. You know what I'm saying? The right type of women. You know what I'm saying? They know more or less that they, they want to make sure the environment is right for the seed, the child. You know what I'm saying? What's being put into that child when they're in a right state of mind, when they're in their womanhood. You know what I'm saying? That is so. So women to me are very enlightening beings. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that are up on it. You know what I'm saying? There's some women that think they're men, that they fell off, I say. Because they're not invested. They're not, you know, harnessing those inner powers. They're taking it for granted. But yeah, I mean, there are times that natural nature takes over and they can't stop it. they cannot stop the fact that they have to be aware of the environment of their seed or their child, the environment and the currents, everything that goes into making sure that that child takes roots, that personality, the character, that spirit take root. You know what I'm saying? So, every time I'm around, I'm very careful when I'm around women because I know of the power that they have, man. Women have power. We go down. When you talk about the enlightenment self, they're naturally enlightened. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, there has been a concentrated effort to dumb down the woman, to take those powers away from the woman. But you see, this is where men that are raised by women understand this. And they're supposed to be the help to help women achieve this enlightenment self, man. This is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? There are men that do have this enlightenment enlightenment self because they have a balancement with the feminine and masculine within themselves. That sacred feminine knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing here. This is sacred feminine knowledge. And music is a feminine thing. Music is a feminine expression. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to misconstrue that. And I'm not talking about in sexuality. I'm talking about an expression. You have feminine expression and masculine expression. We'll speak more heavily on that once I'm able to grab some more literal work on that. You know what I'm saying? We'll speak about that. But it's a lot of musicians, when they're harnessing, their instrument, they're taking care of their instrument, right? It's like their little baby. Music is like a baby, so they seeding. That's all a feminine thing. Women are more and more in tune with that power. You know what I'm saying? And we are. I don't see it. That's gender. So there is, the separatism, the gender thing. You got masculine forces and you got feminine forces. But there are men that have a strong feminine, and not because homosexuality, and not because of any of that. It has nothing to do with sexual practice. It has to do with the expression. Okay? What happened is that again, there's certain people that invested in the shadow self want to amplify certain things, especially when it talks about spirituality, when it deals with the sacral center in natural nature, right? Your sexual organ. And so they amplify that and they make it all about that. But it's much more than that. It's about expressing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, ese hombre fino. You know what I'm saying? He's well taught. He has a woman. I have my granddaughter's going to be 1 year. She's 11 months, and so I nourish. I help nourish her. I feed her. I still change her pampers, but after a certain time, I'm like, I want to get used to a woman changing the pampers, whatever. Even though that's my granddaughter, you know what I'm saying? I don't play that shit. But anyway, feeding her, making her food, holding her. What's a favorite song that I sing to all the time? Baby girl, it's your world. Do it for the girl. That Chloe and Haley song. She loves it. Loves it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So that maternal instinct, that caring instinct, that sacred feminine instinct could be in men, certain men. Some women have to look for that in men. And at the same time, that masculinity. Some women have masculinity also characteristics. They have that. That's what the golden child is all about, having both. But some women have that masculinity in her. Oh, sorry. Keep dropping my. You know what I'm saying? And so it all has to be balanced. Balance, balance, balance. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the golden children comes in. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like I said, you know, it's just being, we're talking about when you deal with spirit, we're talking about character and personality, certain character and personality, that certain people have, you know. Uh, Certain men have certain character and personality that are looked at as being feminine way, you know what I'm saying? Because of character and personality. And that's so great. That's good. I mean, he's in tune. He's in tune with his feminine stuff. That means he had a great upbringing with his mother. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just he is in tune. And at the same time, masculinity. You know what I'm saying? You have your masculine, you're you're taking care of your environment, you're being a help. You know what I'm saying? When you deal with a masculine form of spirit, a masculine form of character and personality. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, women having masculine also, and knowing about her femininity and her masculinity, and having that balancement, perfectly balanced. Very, very important. Well, listen, I don't think nobody else is going to come on here, you know, so I'm going to probably end this broadcast. And I think I covered it all. But again, we deal with the semi. Let me see. No, that's not the one. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I can give you this one here. Um, this one right here. Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so again, this is a drawing of the semi, the symbol that I use to represent the Earth Energy Center, you know, of the grounding, anchoring, you know what I'm saying, and the seeding. And if you look at the top half, it even look like a phallus too. That's the whole thing about seeding, you know, the sun. And that terms of sexuality, seeding and stuff like that. But that's just a representation, that's not, you know, what it's meant to be. It's just a representation. But that's the semi, you know what I'm saying? And that deals with ancestry patterns and genetic blueprints. This is kept in the house. This is was kept in the village. The Taino understood of the power that the reverence for the power of seeding, the power of the Most High, Yah, and the earth. You know what I'm saying? The genetic blueprint. You know what I'm saying? The genetics of this tribal expression, culture. You know what I'm saying? So that's the seeding. Again, we mentioned that this deals with grounding and anchoring yourself to the Earth Energy Center. It deals with inheritance also. This is inherited. You know what I'm saying? It deals with the origins and the elements, the mountains, the elements, the earth and everything. It deals with fertilization. It deals with also vegetation. You know what I'm saying? This is this is aligning with earth energy field. You're achieving life force from the earth. Okay? And you're healing ancestral patterns and genetic blueprint. And that I got from the alchemy breakdown. One day I'll put it up here. But right now, I'm just and the Kemetic science, this is Geb, deals with with Geb, representing the earth. That's where they get Geb, Gaia, uh, um, geometry, geometry. You know what I'm saying? The God of Earth, Giovanni, I mean God of Earth. my God of earth. You know what I'm saying? So it deals with that. Also, in this Earth Energy Center, when it turns about terms of instrumentation, you know the long bow that the Aboriginals in Australia use, that instrument. And also, when you start going into the root, you start going to the percussive instrument, the really bass instrument, give that earth tone instrument. You know, I forgot what they call those things that the Aboriginal, but that's instrument. It grounds them, anchoring them to the earth. You know what I'm saying? Very, very deep, deep, deep science behind that. You know what I'm saying? Deep science behind it. So, in terms of the Taino culture, it would be considered the drum, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Ground to earth, and the stomping of the feet, because they also made music by the stomping of the feet, and also tribes in Africa, stomping of the feet, grounding themselves, anchoring themselves, and stomping on that ground to tremble the ground to, the earth energy. You know what I'm saying? So this is where they all come from. Semi. This is my what do you call it? My vision of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I want to leave you at that. And this is one of the first broadcasts that I'm doing about this center. You know what I'm saying? And I've done this before, but I'm revisiting it. But this time I'm doing it in a presentation like this. And I'm also going to put symbols up. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm creating my product, like I said, creating my product. Pretty soon it'll be available, and you're able to look at this product, and you'll be able to say, "Oh, now I see where you're coming from." Boom, 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 and it's help you to focus. You know what I'm saying? Because when you see the symbol, you know your focus. You say, "Man, this deals with Earth Energy Center, the power that we have." Because a lot of times we know we have these powers innate in us, but we forget. We're very forgetful beings. That's the reason why they call us there's a couple of surah, and I study surah and Quranic surahs, Arabic, and they could nas, Suratul Nas, Nasiya, Nas mean forgetful people. We forget. We're very forgetful. We need to be again, member, being put back together again. Remember. You know what I'm saying? Realign. You know what I'm saying? So that's what religion try to do, to re-legate, to rebind you to certain principles, but it's been adulterated, polluted, adulterated. You know what I'm saying? And that's just reality. So when we say, I believe in the Most High, think about it. I believe in the Most High. Frequency. The Most High. It's just simple. You say high, adjective, describing something high. And if there's a most high frequency, there's a low frequency. You know what I'm saying? That's when they created God and devil. You know what I'm saying? And that's where all of that comes from. But in terms of natural nature, so say the most high, the transcendent, seeking for the unseekable, reaching for the unreachable. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the unknowable. You know what I'm saying? This is the reaching, the transcendence. And we're going to go over that when we deal with one of the centers that deals, one of the natural abilities that we have to seek the unseekable, transcendence. And that's what we talk about the most high. We talk about the most high what? The most high frequency that can be attained. And there's many different levels of that. You know what I'm saying? And next time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to download my blue letter on this PC, and I'm going to bring up also biblical for those in biblical quotes. You can see it right there. It's just that, again, you can have faith in your cart, but not know that there's a wheel loose. That's what those Sufis say. I can have faith that my car is going to take me to my destination. All the faith. Oh, yeah, my car's going to take me there. But then I don't know there's a wheel loose. What happens sometimes, some people are so lucky, they'll get to the destination with the wheel wobbling, but they still get there because they're lucky, right? But I like surety. to be certain, surety is when you get out and you investigate your cart and know there's a wheel loose. You could tighten it. And I know all the wheels are going well. Or in terms of today, modern time, I know that my car got gas. I know that there's now no bolt missing in the wheel. I know that my engine is good. My oil, my car is an optimal performance, so I'm able to get my destination with surety. But if I'm not aware of these things, don't take care of these things, and I'm just simply going on faith, I'm taking chances. I might as well go to the casino, gamble. We're taking chances, man. You know, the God doesn't work like that. No. I don't know, this doctrine. Yeah, and we're going to go over that when we get to the higher centers, about doctrine and dogma and what it's really all about. But I'll reveal something now that a lot of Christianity is not the Christianity that it was first conceived of. The conception. They added on doctrine, like the doctrine of Balaam, when it talks about in Revelations that this doctrine that the Messiah would not honor certain churches because they lean to the doctrine of Balaam. Now, when you research the doctrine of Balaam and the doctrine of Nicolaitanian doctrine and the doctrine of Balaam, read that doctrine. That's what's going on in the Christian church today, in the Jewish church. Israelis, those black Israelites, and those Christians. This is what's going on in your church. They misplace the actual lessons, the enlightenment self. They replaced it with a doctrine called the doctrine of Balaam. Check it out. We can go there. Check it out. And then you're going to be like, wow. But you see, I'm not one to discredit, because I know that some churches are good because you got fellowship. I like fellowship and help each other, whatever. But in the midst of all that, there's weeds in there. And you're stopping the growth of our future by bombarding them with these dogma and doctrine, religious doctrine and dogma that are the doctrine of Balaam and all these different doctrines that came later on in Christianity and in Judaism. They came later on, and they disrupted, they polluted the original concept that was supposed to be good. God is good without an extra O. No, God is good with an extra O. You know what I'm saying? They took that O out, the good out. You know what I'm saying? That's a German word, God. I mean, it was originally meant good. The good. God. The good of humanity. God. Good. What's good? The Son. Psalms 84. Everybody said Psalms 84:11, something like that. God is the Son. It doesn't say God is like the Son. God is a Son. A light, you know what I'm saying? The spectrum. But this is, I don't know, people want to hear this? You aren't ready for that, right? I don't know. You should be ready for that, because we're dealing with a whole different time now. So you should be ready. Anyway, let me leave it at that. In terms of, don't want anybody to please do not get a little, don't judge me. Analyze. Listen to what's being said. Analyze it, figure it out, think about it. You know what I'm saying? There is no conspiracy out there. There is put that crap to the side. No conspiracy. The only conspiracy there is are those conspirators who's trying to bring in conspiracy so they can disrupt your life with fear, with guilt, with doctrine and dogma, with separatism. They manipulating the shadow self, because that's how they do their business. That's how they get down. They manipulate the shadow self in angles. That's what they do. Remember, I was a Mason. I know how all of that is created. That's the reason why we study Freemasonry, so we can know the inner workings of a Freemason and how this organization, how things are being manipulated. It's a manipulation. So it's an art. You know, I study magic too, a magician, the art of manipulating illusions and your sight. You know what I'm saying? Your blind spots. I study that too, Let's just have a conversation on things like that. Don't want to, seems like I know it all, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I see. I see. This is how I view this. I perceive it. This is what I view, and it's working okay for me. I'm doing fine. Only when I go against myself, my true being, is when I wind up in trouble. Only when I go against my true self is when I wind up in trouble. But as long as I'm speaking my truth, and as long as I'm empowering my enlightenment self, and there's nothing anybody can say, but there's no way anybody can touch you. Trust me, because it's been done. It's the way. It's the way in the light. This is what it talks about, messiahship. You know what I'm saying? We'll go over that at another time. But anyway, I still want to keep doing those interviews. Musicians, I'm just interested to know my musicians out there, Musical Chronicles, get at me. Again, let me put my my email here. That's my email. You want to get at me. For those who are going to view this later and you want to have a conversation with me or whatever, just tell me the topic. Let's have a conversation. Let's do it live. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But I mean, the truth got to get out, and we got to get this popping, man. We can't let those conspirators, take control of our lives. I'm sorry. That's the warrior. You see, that's another side that you're gonna see that in the enlightenment self, the warrior, spiritual. You become a spiritual warrior when you harness certain powers we have in the enlightenment self. When we get to that level, right now we're dealing with seeding and grounding ourselves, and the ability we have to originate, to be partakers, collaborate with the origination stages in our lives and in nature. Okay, very, very important. And one day I'll bring up some of those findings too. Those what is it? The nature of nature, and that's a doctrine too. But you see, you gotta understand a certain doctrine has been created as an answer to certain doctrine that has been detrimental. Doctrine and dogma. So we're just gonna check it all out. Peace and blessing, man, and hope next time that people could come in and view these, have a conversation with me, man. I have my phone line ready. I could bring in people, you know what I'm saying? And let's see. Probably look for an interview maybe on Thursday, according to the artist that I want to bring on. It's a woman, and it's an Afro-Caribbean woman, African, and she's doing the work out there with people that I know. I don't want to give her name out right now and everything because I want to protect that right now until we get that interview done. Peace and blessing, everybody. Peace.